Storytelling is the building blocks of production. It's taken me a little while to kind of get to this point where I eventually understand this. The reason for this is because I always thought that I could improve my production by buying the next gear. The focus on the spectacular over substance, I believe, is why a lot of us struggle when it comes to YouTube and content creating. The reason I say this is because for a lot of us, we focus a lot of our attention on the things that are meant to be secondary. Let me take you with me for a minute. Have you ever kind of gone through a phase where you're looking for something to watch and you're scrolling through one of all these platforms, Netflix or YouTube, you stop on this fantastic advert of this film that's just kind of captivated you and you're like, that's the one. It's even better, I suppose, if it kind of has one of your favorite actors like Idris Elba or Jason Statham. Yeah, I know. One of them. I like the Fast and Furious. I still don't get why, because, well, it's the 10th movie and I still fall for it every single time, even though it doesn't seem to get better. But I don't know if you get what I mean. The thing that we need to consider is that by focusing on all of this other gadgets like the best camera, the best lighting, the best microphone, we almost kind of want to fool ourselves into believing that this would compensate for the best, or rather for a weak storytelling. But who am I? Just a guy that's sitting on his couch next to his dog. Okay, whilst all of these tools, like I said, are important, a great storytelling isn't just about the tool of which you use, but instead it is about your ability to empathize with your audience and connect with them. It is also about being able to resonate, because sometimes you find that with the people that you're trying to reach, you have a shared experience, and that's what it is that these other gadgets and tools can't buy, as much as we try to anyway. Don't get me wrong, visuals are important and it does enhance storytelling, but we know that there have been times where you have watched something and it's not the quality of it, has not been as good visually, but because the story has been so compelling, you've been able to kind of stick with it. I suppose the thing to also consider as well is we live in a world where technology and AI, it's evolving so quickly, and these play a role in terms of making sure that we can improve our storytelling. The thing that we need to remember is that having all of this is not going to solve the roadblocks that we put in place for ourselves. If we are hoping that by acquiring the next gadget that would be the only thing that would help us to improve that story, then we'll be waiting forever, because that's a roadblock that we've got. What happens then when we purchase that and it doesn't help? Like in my case, I can't believe that I fell for writing a script and waiting for AI to use my tone to tell the story, and then I was surprised when it didn't quite work. Is that because I told myself that I wasn't good enough to tell that story myself? The one thing that AI or all of these other things can't do for us is they can't demonstrate the level of empathy and authenticity that really comes with your story and my story, because these experiences are ours, and unless you've lived there, nothing else can replicate it. In today's landscape of content creation, everybody wants to be the next Mr. Biggs, the next whatever big content creator you've got out there these days. And when you've achieved this idea of blowing up, which ultimately sounds amazing, by the way, what happens then? If that achievement has been done through the formula that they used in achieving their own heights that they have achieved, and you haven't been true to yourself, what then? Do you then become lost in the world of algorithm and data? Because that's what is driving a lot of us, isn't it? This idea of being guided and leaning heavily into what the next trend is and what the next trend's likely to be, and what it is that people are mass producing. What happens then is that we become repetitive and, what's the word for it? Predictable. This is what I think. When you become too predictable, you lose your sense of authenticity. What's the need for somebody else to want to see you? Why do they need to watch you? Why do they need to listen to you? Because there is nothing about yourself that you're living in there. You're just a clone of the other 10, 15, 20 people they've already seen. Which is why we need to make sure that we tell a compelling story. We might not have the skills to look into the camera and just talk, but that comes with practice. I started YouTube by creating a reaction channel, and sometimes I believe that has played a significant role in being able to start. The reason that it has is because now I understand how to communicate to the camera a little bit better. It don't mean I'm great at it, because sometimes you can catch me now, I'd look around there, and because that's how I tend to communicate in real life. I am an overthinker, and sometimes I need time to process my thoughts before I leap into action. It doesn't always mean that it happens like that with everything that I do. When it comes to video production, what I have done in the past is I've got this idea. Here we go. Where's that cat I've been looking for? Oh yeah. Waiting for the black one for ages. Because that goes more over the top. Oh, there. You know what, I keep watching myself and I'm like, I I need the black one to go with it. The point I'm trying to make here is that we need to look for a way that we communicate our story. I'm not the greatest when it comes to script writing. I like to just talk. I like to talk off script because I feel like I'm almost kind of tied down when I'm in a script. But maybe that's what we all need. We need the scripts not to be one of restriction, but one of guidance. And I think that's what I've always seen it as. Maybe the mindset shouldn't be about, I need to read every single word on the script, but instead I need to remember what it is that I put down there that I need to use to communicate that story. And that's where I've struggled. And I put my hands up. I am learning to improve this. I've only been doing YouTube for less than 2 years now, and there is a learning step every single day. And that's what you need to see it as. You need to see it as an opportunity to learn. Cracking your code, I think, is important. I haven't quite cracked mine yet, and I'm trying to get there because every day is a learning day. And I think the minute we believe that we've already got it, that's the minute we begin to struggle even more. So I suppose rather than consistently thinking that when I buy that gadget, that's the code, I've cracked it, and we're consistently looking at the next video that we need to watch to be able to make our YouTube the most pristine quality in terms of visually, we need to look for a way to make our story a lot more compelling. And that sometimes has to come with, what is it that we're trying to say? Why did I decide to choose this hat? Why didn't I wear the other one? The other one was green, it goes with my trousers. And that's the point. I chose it for a reason. I chose it because I could see something in the camera that literally mirrors the hat, and I wanted to see that. I wanted to be able to reflect that in this image that I'm shooting to you guys. Understanding the reason why helps you to be able to tell a lot more compelling story. Because if you understand, why does that person watching me want to watch me? Why? Why is that important? They want to watch because you've got something important. You're engaging. You are easy to listen to. And sometimes there have been times where it could be because of the way you speak, because of the way you tell your story. It doesn't, if you speak fast, that's fine. There are people out there for you. If you speak slowly like I do, there are people that don't like that. And that's okay. Not everybody's going to like you. But that's what comes with acceptance. What is the story you're trying to tell? And who are you talking to? If you can have that person in mind, who it is that you're talking to, then you're able to see your story penetrate the ears of that person. And I don't want people having a bad idea. Probably I should have used a different word there. I just kind of thought of that in my head now, because we live in a world where people just assume things. But that's the point. Nobody should try to assume what you're trying to say, because you're given such a precise storyline that helps them to get your point. The point I'm trying to make here is that gadgets and all of that, whatever tech you're using, your phone, whatever it is, they're good. But they are all but an enhancer. You still got to show up. And by showing up, you're able to pass on that story, that moment that you're trying to. Okay. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you like what we're all about, like, subscribe, join our community. Until next time, it's been Kings. Peace.